with what the client's experience was, what the lender's experience was, what your experience as a real estate agent was. There's multiple ways to write that content so that it's interesting for anybody coming to your site to read about it. Another real estate agent might come to your site, especially if you're a broker and you have, you write about an experience of how your office handled something. Another agent might come across that, see it, and say, "Hey, I like the way these guys do business," and it, might lead to some type of a recruit of a new body, a new agent coming into your company. From an agent standpoint, writing about what the experience was like from your buyer or for the seller would give some new buyer or seller an experience to read about on your site, such that if they liked what they saw, they're likely to convert into at least a conversation with you, which you'd be able to get them on the horn and then work the way you work your business to convert that person into a customer. So, there's lots of ways to combine articles, but you want to keep your article length to a minimum and making a point. And you don't want to go too short, 100 words, 50 words, too short it's too short for Google to really get a good sense of what you're writing about and what that page is about. Also, the shorter the blog post, the less, the less important it's going to get ranked because you're not saying too much about it. So, a couple sentences about a point isn't going to do much in the rank world. If there's certainly if there's competing competition or competing information about what you're writing about, if you're writing a couple sentences and there's somebody else, there's 10 other websites ahead of you that have written, 300 to 400 words of good content about what you're writing about, chances are you're going to come in 11th because Google's not going to give you a lot of credit for the lack of content either. So it's important to pay attention to, your length, and keep it down. Also, readers don't want to sit down and read 1,700 word blog posts too often. It can get kind of dry and you're going to lose people near the end. Not always, but certainly new visitors aren't always going to stick around for you to make your point in a long blog post. Your returning customers, you have a lot better shot at converting them to, or having them read your content that's longer. So anyway, I hope you get the point. It should be one topic per article. Next, you want to look at, so we're gonna stick with this guy's article that he wrote, just as an example. But I'm looking at this article, and it's clearly to me about VA loan or VA loans. But from a keyword standpoint, he's got his keyword in here 1 time, 2 times, VA3, loan. He's got FHA loan, VA loan again, and VA loan here. So he's got VA loan in 3 of the 4 paragraphs, VA loan or VA loans in 3 of the 4 paragraphs. So what this brings up is a term, and it's called keyword density. And I don't want you to get hooked up or hooked into the technology or the technical aspect of it, but keyword density is the number of times you mention your keyword per or divided by all the words in an article. So what I'm not telling you to do is, add up all the words and divide your keyword by that number of total words and get a keyword density. That's not what I'm telling you to do. But you want to be cognizant of, have I made reference to my keyword VA loan in and throughout my article? Some guidelines are you want to put it in your first sentence, like VA loans. One of the biggest advantages of VA loans is, might be a way to put this versus waiting to another paragraph or another sentence to put VA loan. But first paragraph, last paragraph, and then a couple of mentions inside the body of the article is a good thumb rule for how many times you should put a keyword on your page. And this guy's done a pretty decent job of it. We would know that this is about VA loans and a VA loan. So I don't think that this guy would have any problems with his keyword density whatsoever. It's also a good idea if you're doing VA loan that you do throw in a plural of VA loans and maybe VA mortgage, because that gives the search engines a better understanding that you're writing about VA loans in general, and you have some other terminology. I'm not going to bring up the term for it, but there is related keywords to the main keyword on the page as something to pay attention to. So I'm going to open up the lines right now to see if there's any questions about what we just covered on that segment of our chat. All right, so next what I want to talk about is the structural nature of a post. And again, we're going to stick with this active rain post that this gentleman's done that I pulled up from my Google alerts. Inside WordPress, you will have the opportunity, and I'm actually going to log into somebody's site to show you that right now. This is one of our clients that we've had for a while. Let's log in, and we're going to go to a post. And let's go look at top employment opportunities in Arizona. So this is an article that I put in this guy's site quite a while ago. He still gets traffic from this over time. I published this, and he started getting a couple hundred visits a day for a while, and got a few phone calls off of it. But he just put in, we put in the top 10 top employment opportunities in Arizona. And it was not related to real estate, but it was a good piece that we thought would get some attention to his site, and it worked really well. But what we've done is we put in different bullets, if you will. So Java, Banner Health, and this points to, it breaks the content up so that when a reader comes to your page, they have something to look at versus just content. Having a video embedded, having a picture embedded, and having different subheadings, and having different different bullet points, things like that. So you want to break up what content looks like. So if we go back to this guy's article, and I'm going to bring this into this website, and we're going to pretend for a moment that I have rewritten this guy's content, and we're gonna drop it into our WordPress website. So here we are. Here's my content. I've just written it in here. Now I write outside of WordPress often, where I don't write inside the editor, which is here. It's just a preference I've developed over the years. Sometimes I write inside WordPress, but most of the time I write in a different software program. And why I do that is I write for a lot of different people. We, Profound Marketing writes content for the clients who hire us to do so. And I keep basically a library of content that I can refer back to when I need, when I'm working on an angle of an article or something. So that's why I keep a separate file of all the things that I've ever written. I probably have a couple of thousand different pieces now that I've written. But let's just say that for now, I've got this piece of content, and I now want to shove it into my site and get it out there. So this is my headline. And this guy, we're going to say, what are the advantages of a VA loan? So question mark. So that now becomes the title of my blog post. It also becomes one of the first things that Google sees when they come come to my website or come to this guy's website is they see what are the advantages of a VA loan. So they have an idea now that they have an idea of what this article is about. Now I would change this to say the biggest advantage of a VA loan is that you don't have to have a down payment. So now I have advantage of a VA loan, advantage of a VA loan. The biggest advantage, I could say one of the biggest advantages of, so that I have this sentence or this phrase covered in the beginning of my article. So Google knows and the search engines know one of the biggest advantages of a VA loan is that you don't have to have a down payment. Now, what I could do is highlight this area and bold it. Actually, I'm working inside the HTML editor. I'm going to bounce over to the regular visual editor, so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So what I did is I highlighted this and then bolded it. Now, I don't want to get crazy with bolds throughout the rest of my content, but a bold actually highlights and alerts the search engines. Anytime you put special effects on a phrase or a term or a word, it tells the search engines that you are, that they pay special attention to this particular word. It's not a huge ranking factor, but it has some small impact. I might even highlight something like VA loan, but it's also good for the reader. So a reader hits your page, boom. Let's see, I'm going to save this as a draft. And we're going to preview what it looks like. So here's the page. I hit this page. What are the advantages? And I can see this bold is different. So as a reader, I have something that my eyes are drawn to and kind of lures me into reading this content if I'm interested in the advantages of VA loan. I can see that I'm talking about them inside the content of the article. So I'm going to come back to our article that we're writing. Hey, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
You just canceled it.
I did?
Yeah.
I didn't.